just gonna dead ass just take time.
Yeah.
You could do other stuff in the meantime.
Oh, actually, wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Champion of Fate.
Are you sure this is where you want to use it on?
My birthday's later this month.
Are you sure this is where you want to use it on?
to make Mina brush Edelweiss good?
Yeah.
Worthy.
Let's see, how many would I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm just hearing this snickering as you're like, wow, that's a really dumb thing to use it on. But also,
It's
I
gonna
was
happen.
It is good. It is a dumb thing to use it on. It's a very dumb thing to use
Those
it
are the best thing to use it on. Are you kidding?
That's how I was thinking.
You know what, Fred? You're so right. Yeah, I want to use it here.
Amazing.
Might as well.
You use your Champion of Fate.
It's a 19.
Yeah, it's still only a 19. You bring Mina over to brush Edelweiss, and Edelweiss just sort of that throws herself because that would be dangerous for a creature of that mass. But sort of leans into it, and Mina just sort of just gets distracted at it, and use Champion of Fate. There is a familiar motion to the point where it's not like it's familiar to her. It's not familiar to how one would ever use on a horse, right? Like it's familiar to another type of creature that just sort of takes her mind off things. Her doomerism, as you put it.
humorism.
She does remark, or I guess ask aloud, where do you even get Edelweiss, bruv? Because she stops from it. If I'm being honest, it reminds me of my brother. And Marama. A bond that lasts beyond death. Or through it.
I got her back in the Empire when I was placed in my company. I was given a pick from any of the horses in the stables. She was the one that took to me the most, though they all sort of liked me.
She does like a scoff. Yeah, you and Jimby come from a similar cough.
He scratches his face up and shakes his head. Just horses for me. I can't talk to them like Jin can. Dogs bark at me, cats hiss. But horses love me, I found.
The blessing of a horseboy.
He looks oddly proud at that.
Yeah, wherever your path takes you next, Falk, you might be able to find some good coin or practice using such blessings. Something to keep in mind.
Maybe one day I can open a stable.
Perhaps you can come back here. He gestures at the boat and you guys are in.
Maybe
Bruce this one up. Fair enough. So, Mina is a bit out of her own head, at least for the moment. What are the rest of you doing? If anything at all. If not, I have something for you guys.
If no one else has anything, I have a probably gonna be a small thing. It's like that's a yes. Jin goes over to Ted.
You see Ted, who's in the midst of... He's on a rafter. Lounging up there like a lazy cat, one leg kicked off, arms crossed, looking at what is clearly a break in one of the upper segments of the wall that lets you look outside.
Uh-huh.
You walk over to him, and he's
Jin
just
looks up.
staring out there, being like, "Damn, that's blue.
Crazy, man.
That sky is blue."
Damn, my blind eyes do really like the color blue right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're not quite sure if he's like fully on it without being behind him, but take
Yeah.
take what you will from that.
I think he just looks up to the rafters like, how did you even get up there? I swear I just looked over here and you were on the ground.
With my legs, duh.
Accurate, but also smartass.
You asked!
Okay, no, fair.
What are you coming over here for, talking all this mad shit, huh? Fox boy? He says, looking down at you, missing you by like approximately 2 feet to the right.
He says a little to the left.
He doesn't tilt. He doesn't turn. You ain't tricking him.
Damn.
You ain't tricking him.
I'll roll deception for the hell of it. I see why he didn't fall for it, actually. You know what? He doesn't need it to be a quiet endeavor. He'll keep his voice, like, I guess, down a bit to not interrupt other people's conversations, but it's not like a private conversation. I had I suppose a request. More of a query. Your gourd, it's strange. Does it have...
Well, thank you.
Thumbs up. Strange in a good way. Does it have... well, medicinal properties?
I don't know. Never really tried. I mean, I guess a moment of respite. You know, a cool drink on a hot day. That's sort of medicinal.
Nods sagely, like, yes, brilliant.
It is not. It is not technically. It's not medicinal.
It's medicinal to the soul, you know?
Yeah. That's some Tedism right there.
That's not medicine.
You wouldn't get it.
Yeah, you're not high enough to get it.
But
Yeah, I have
bingo.
insurance.
Homeopathy.
So, why asking anyways? You need something? He takes it off his belt and just sort of jiggles it around, and you can hear like the water swishing around in it. Well, liquid swishing around in it.
I was curious how it would react with Irina. Well, he looks over to Grover's experiments. I guess it's less Irina at the moment, but you know what I mean.
I don't see why not. Sure, he lets go of it and it just sort of falls. It's not on you, though. It just sort of falls. Do you move to catch it?
No, he's fucking with me. He's gonna catch the thing.
It falls and hits the ground.
Damn it.
Dude, why didn't you catch it?
You know, I took a gamble and I was wrong. It didn't break.
Fuck that. It better not have, or else I'll be pissed.
He quickly checks it to see if it's damaged.
Okay, you look up. There's a 1% chance. There's a
On a
1%.
100, it shatters.
On a 100, there would have cracked, but you're lucked out.
Yeah.
I
should have
it's
been
fine.
A small breath of relief is just like, oh, thank God.
Sure, give it over to the little warden. Don't tell him I said that, though. He'll probably get mad. Also,
honestly, knowing them, they probably hear it.
Just quick question.
Yeah, what up?
Like, he changes his posture on the rafter so that he's basically doing like a sit-up, like a falling sit-up. Right, so he's like dangling to look down at
Gotcha,
He's still
gotcha.
higher than you, but, you know, it's closer. So he
Yeah.
tries to whisper to you. Who's Irina? He wasn't there. You guys say he has no clue who this is.
True. But was Irina's name mentioned when Grover was talking about, like, the mushrooms and everything?
Yeah, the question was
Yeah.
Ted paying attention to that? Because you guys weren't next to him when that was happening.
That is
He started
true.
saying it out loud.
Yeah. I mildly assume he just unintentionally or intentionally pays attention to everything. I don't know this man's vibe.
Good. Excellent.
It's a companion of ours. Well, was, I
Ah.
suppose. Shelby?
Ooh. Eh?
It's very complicated.
Yeah,
She
you're
had-
telling me. What the fuck you mean? Is, was, shall be. What the fuck is this?
Will you come down here? I'll explain more if you're closer and quieter.
He squints. You can see his eyebrows
With
furrow
his
behind his
eyes.
eyebrow. I don't know.
What's the worst? You have to
Some
climb
sort of
back up there. It's not like it's difficult.
There's some sort of trap, methinks.
Have you seen how
But-
good I am at deceiving over the past 2 interactions?
That's
It's clearly
he
not the
falls
trap.
to the ground, landing, like just like doing like a crouch landing sandbag. I don't know. It's the ones that are bad at lying you got to be mindful of.
Right, play the fool.
Taps the side of his temple, doesn't miss because he can feel his own temple.
Yeah, it's that weird sixth sense
Yeah.
thing where you know where your body is.
You never know.
Never know, never know.
So what's up? Who is this chick?
She... Well, there's a lot more explaining than I thought there would. So in
I should have
Velcaster...
been up there still then. I could have been chilling up there.
No. I'll make it quick. There were, in Velcaster, the things that happened there were these beings called Shambras. They were effectively, reanimated corpses. But they were animated via spores and mushrooms.
Yeah.
Very strange. Thankfully not a centipede, but beside the point.
What? What's that to do with it? That came out of nowhere. Wait, what?
he doesn't wave the hand like, don't worry about that. But no, Irina was one of them, but was different. Notably so. She was...
Like, she didn't shamble, or like, what are we talking here?
She was intelligent, sentient. Had her own will. The will was attempted to be taken over by a fell god, but... does the term fell god exist?
In terms of it is a god that is fell, but if you're talking about like some nomenclature from the last setting, no.
Okay. So he's gonna say fell god, because in his perspective it is kind of an evil god. A fell god, basically. But she was different, and she protected us in the moments of the Newmans clashing. At the cost of herself. Mhm. But, from the sounds of a lot of science that frankly I do not understand happening over there, they might be able to come back. And that's where he holds up the gourd. This might come in. I'm not sure. I feel it's going to be more
Puts his
traveling into
hands
the future.
together in like a praying motion, putting them in front of his mouth and his nose, like they're like and then he wags the closed hands together at you. So, what you're telling me is, you guys are going to try to reanimate a reanimated body. Reanimate.
Without having the corpse itself and mostly using mushroom sets. Might have her essence? Yes. It's not the weird nature.
Puts his hand back in front of his lips and nose, like, I have one word for you. My input on this. Bruh. You know how crazy you fucking... I mean, I don't doubt you guys, but I'm just saying, you sound fucking crazy right now. And I've heard a lot of crazy shit. Like, damn.
Look, the only thing that is guaranteed in life is death. So on the journey to death, you might as well make it exciting.
He does like a teetering way with that.
No, hear me out.
No, it depends on who you are, but you do you, man.
Fair enough.
He begins climbing back up the column, the support beam that leads up to his rafter. Very, very deftly, unsurprisingly. You do you, man. I'm gonna live forever.
I want to inside check him. I don't think he doubts that, but I want to see why he would think that.
Yeah, sure, wants it. Good luck.
Yeah. And I don't have guidance. I assume Caradox is more than 10 feet away. Damn, he's gonna live forever.
Dude, he's aiming for immortality based.
He falls on the way up and dies.
Man after my own heart.
As he goes up there, how do I do that? Trying to think.
Well,
Have you ever been to the Dream Rampant?
Pass through it.
Pass through it.
What, I need advice? You guys going through it?
I mean, considering the entire notion that I just dropped, maybe. As well as, honestly, I
I
kind
don't know
of
you
want
guys are the
to
ones.
stop.
I don't know if you guys are the ones doing it. Oh, he's a freaking Ashburn, dude. He goes wherever he wants to fucking go.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna go through it, stay on the fucking road. If you see a cute little animal, no, you didn't. If you saw a little short stack, nuh-uh, no, you didn't. If you hear your friend's voice right in front of you, but you heard it behind you, no, you didn't. Just keep your senses in check and don't believe anything that's off the road.
It seems the common go-to is mind your own business.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of describing it. Mind your own fucking business when you're in the Dream Ampent. And I would pack maybe a really comfy pillow. Like a really comfy one. And or some drugs. Like sleep drugs. You're good. You might need them.
Why?
Unless you're a masochist, in which case, then the go raw. Just go in. Do it.
What?
You'll be fine. You'll get your heart's desires. And
He
you'll
holds
have
up
those
his
desires.
hands, like, what is going on? It's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because
I mean, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Dream Ampent. Yeah, it's got some weird times. It doesn't always happen. Not always. But when it hits you, it's fucking weird. Definitely robs you of a night's rest, which is where the drugs come in. I mean, you might still feel like shit after you wake up anyways, but these drugs in it, they'll keep you asleep, hopefully.
The important thing is staying asleep.
Yeah. The pillow's just for comfiness.
Jin like massages like the bridge of his nose, but it's also kind of entertaining. It's like, this is ridiculous, but also he's kind of funny. No, it's fair enough. I will, I suppose, keep that in mind if we travel that way.
What you will do is bring my gore back once that little bastard's done with it. Don't tell him I said that.
Again, he can probably hear you. Although the thing is, if he cares.
I can't see to find out anyways, but I think the mask would stop me regardless. So,
looks to like the window that he's clearly quote unquote looking out of.
well, now right now he's looking down to you like talking to you on the ground.
Okay,
veered off a bit, but he's.
I love this man and I hate him so much at the same time.
Very good.
Okay. He will do a small bow and then take his leap and head towards Grover.
You begin making your approach
He's
towards
so
Grover. Would Dahlia be still with Grover or no?
Probably. Like, if he's doing stuff, she'll probably just be there.
He doesn't remark too much as to what he's doing, only every now and again. But you, Jin, begin make your way over and see Dahlia and Grover mid-researching. Best way to call it.
Hello.
Greetings. What do you want?
Hey.
I will keep it brief. This gourd is from, Ted nods his head up towards him. I think he goes by Ted. It's had strange naturalistic elements. I was wondering if it might be of assistance with Irina.
He holds out. He doesn't turn to look at you, he just holds out his hand to receive it.
I place it in his hand.
He takes it, uncorks it, and sniffs it through his fucking gourd. Also a gourd.
His double gourd.
Through his gas mask. And just sniffs it. Potentially. It'd have to be repurposed. And I assume Ted isn't giving over full custody of this.
Unfortunately, no. Was that him interrupting?
He's way over there shouting.
Oh, he answered.
Well, I can use some of the fluid inside it, potentially. He begins pouring it out into a beaker. It pours to, like, a certain, like, demarcation on the on the flask itself. Then he pours another one in a different flask. Then he pours another one.
He's making shots.
It doesn't end. The gourd never runs out. And at some point, he was theorizing it before, but that's the confirmation you need. He caps him, he gives it back to you.
It gives it a shake.
Still liquid inside it. Even though he's poured out probably 3 times the amount that it sounds like in there.
It's a strange thing.
It's a magic item.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Objects from the Dream Rampant are, well, outside of it, usually die out very quickly, so it's interesting that it's lasted so long. But it's not my place to press on such mysteries of other people. Both of you roll me an insight check.
Insight. Damn, Jen. Hell yeah. 19's good.
7, Grover is a man of many mystiques, So this will be one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The 19, Dahlia, pressing on the secrets of other people's literally what his hobby is. It's his favorite pastime to rob everyone of any secret they could possibly have.
You sure about that?
I'm sure enough. He turns his attention back to the filled flask.
It seems sick. Actually, no. He's gonna stop there. It's not his place to entirely explain. He will take a sip of the gourd though, because there's nothing saying he can't taste it.
Nice, cool, crisp, and refreshing.
What does it taste like when you sip it? Darlie's narrowing her eyes at you.
You tasted it before.
I think we agreed citrusy.
Yeah. So it hasn't changed flavors. So it tastes like that.
He kind of he swirls the gourd like a I was gonna say like a wine cup, but it's more like that one Korean style you showed once where they mix the wine but kind of from the bottom.
Oh yeah. Like makgeolli.
Yeah, exactly. Citrusy? Kind of like an orange.
And when Dahlia tasted it, it was also citrusy, but was it like an orange? She knows what an orange is, right?
I think we decide you know what an orange is. You're in a humid, semi-tropical environment, so they would be natural there. I think yours was lemon or lime or something like that. So citrus,
right.
But not orange.
But slightly different. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Dahlia's trying to figure out if he was telling the truth. Ted, that is, if he was telling the truth with it tastes different for everyone.
It does sound like it. Ted is a truther.
Oh my god, he tells her the truth.
She grumbles under her breath and looks like, oh, alright.
Why? Is this a problem?
Reactive flavoring. Interesting.
Now I really want to just give this to everybody and see what they taste.
That would be an interesting experiment.
Hmm.
His Magimorph leans over one of the flasks, and then its tongue becomes like a needle, like a fucking proboscis for a mosquito, and then just lances into the surface of the liquid, and it takes one noticeable glug. You can see the bubble go through its proboscis, and then it pulls its quote unquote tongue out, and then it goes back to normal. Interesting.
Was it different for that than it was for you?
I've never tasted it.
And I doubt you're going to take a mask off.
Sorry, I thought he did. She doesn't ask that then.
Although I suppose I have now.
Hmm.
Interesting. Not interesting for me.
What did it taste like?
He stops for a moment, pondering if he should enlighten the two of you.
Come on, Uncle Grover. Caustic.
Yes, caustic.
Acidic.
Like chemicals. The sort of tinge you have when you're working with dead bodies a lot. A familiar flavor, to be sure.
Not surprising to hear. Do you need to top off the, He gestures at the little flask. Okay. Will Jin do the thing of just seeing what everyone tastes? That looks like a fail. Yeah, he's not gonna immediately hand it back. He will take his leave. I hope it helps. That's gonna...
Holy shit, he rolled so well for once.
Yeah. Jin is going to go to... Who's, like, the nearest people?
Paradox, a comedian.
Karok, a comedian. He will head over there to see what they're doing and also offer them a delicious drink.
Comedian's in the middle of smithing. Karadok is watching attentively.
Oh.
Comedian holds out a dismissive, like, no thanks, hand. She's working. You don't like grind. But you do hand it over to Karadok.
And we know for a fact that these two do not take off their damn helmets. At least two of the Ashwins do.
Tell me again, Jin, what is this?
It's a gourd. It's a type of vegetable, and you can hollow it out to put liquids inside.
Right. And what is this? That's what I'm asking. What's inside?
Shakes it a bit of water. But apparently it tastes a bit different depending on the person.
Also, let me know gourds are a fruit, not a vegetable.
Thanks. I actually didn't know that.
That, to me, sounds like something out of a fairy tale, so I will respectfully decline.
To be fair, I'm about 95% sure it came from the Dream Rampart, so I suppose fair. Boring, but fair.
Lame!
Points out, I'm gonna assume Ted is like, see, even he agrees.
Yes, well...
Comedian uses, like, one of her tongs and begins writing on the ground. Untrustworthy.
Huh?
And then continues working.
Okay, that's actually a good point.
It was kind of you to offer, Jin, but thank you, but no.
Fine. I think he's going to offer the shroud, and if he turns it down, at that point he's going to give up. Because he's sad now.
You go over to Shroud,
Nobody wants my gourd.
who's still in the middle of, like, practicing his calligraphy. The current word at it looks right now he's on is flame. So you go over.
Flame. Where's Flame been recently? Oh, the fucking Inferno. Anyways.
Hello.
Hi. How do I explain? Do you want to taste from this magical gourd? And then he holds out the gourd.
He blinks a couple of times.
I know it's strange.
Looks at it. Looks at comedian. She looks over her craft and shakes her head. He turns back to you. I have to follow my sensei's advice. Thank you, though. I want to. But
I'm so sad.
not so much so that I would disrespect my elder.
I couldn't disagree with that if I wanted to. But he does look sad. Like, oh, fine, everyone's lame.
Well, yeah, Ted says the same thing. Lame!
Every time it gets faster. Oh, there's different...
Yes, there are many different versions of flame.
Is
Interesting.
it just the standard one? Not standard, but the solo one.
It is the last one. It is Blaze.
Last one. A lot of fire. I'm assuming they're kind of representative of what's been happening recently, because the previous ones were akin to that. But he's not going to question that. He's gonna... I want to deliver the gourd back.
Yeah. I mean, you go back over to Ted. Some mysteries will remain mysteries, kiddo. It's alright, that's just part of life. Death, unpredictability, and mystery. That's life in a nutshell right there. I mean, not death for me though. I'm gonna live forever, but
Yes, Mr. Strange Immortal Man, who is maybe blind.
Maybe.
you gotta call me out like that, dude. Like, damn. I thought we're friends here.
We are, you're just very very difficult to pin down.
Thank
Which
you.
I guess is kind of your point. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Yeah, that is sort of my shtick. Thank you.
I'll give it a try. I'll put it
Breaks fingers. It's just a shame he's a kickboxing master, not a punch fist. Okay. He leans down and holds out his hand to receive back his gourd.
I place